Hey guys, thanks for joining me for my video today. This is going to be a quick update. Well, actually, it's not very quick, but this is what I sold on eBay. These are the best of my eBay sales. It's not all of them. I sold this shirt for $10.71 shipped. I usually do not charge shipping. So if I say shipped, basically it means the full price, even though sometimes I did, maybe 2 or 3 of these did have an additional shipping. But we'll just call it shipped. This sold for $39.53, and this is a Jean-Paul Gaultier designer shirt that I picked up for $2 at the Goodwill, and I did take a best offer after I actually put it on sale as well. So I do run periodic sales in my store just to get things moving, even though this was not on there very long, but I thought it was a fair deal. I think it had come out to $45 with the sale, and then I went ahead and took the $39.53 shipped. This was an awesome sale. I got these for $2 in Chicago. I showed you these in one of my jewelry jar unjarrings. This was not actually in a jar, but it was some stuff that I had picked up from the counter. And the lady had actually showed them to me. She said, showed me a box of earrings that she had. She didn't even have them out on the counter yet, but I picked those up for $2, and those sold for $45 shipped. Those are genuine sterling silver Mexican. Okay, this is a beautiful BB bralette, or I think, what do they call them? Bustiers. This was totally bejeweled, beautiful piece. I believe it sold for over $100 originally, but I did sell that for $35, and that was also something that I had in the closet. I had it in the closet, and I also had it in my Poshmark closet and also on eBay, but I went ahead and took $35 for it. Here's a sterling silver, really cute puffy heart with the chain running through it, and I sold that for $19.99 shipped. It was kind of small. It wasn't a very big pendant, but again, this had been in the shop. It'd been in Etsy and everywhere, so I went ahead and let it go for $19.99. There comes a time when you just have to let things go, and after relisting so many times, it's just what I have to do. I have to put them on sale, take a best offer if it's a nice, fair offer, and that's what I did. I do, again, like to stress the size of it by picturing it with a ruler or some kind of measuring tape there. Okay, this is a Johnny Was. This is a beautiful shirt. I picked it for about $2 as well at the Goodwill. Recognized it immediately just from that rich embroidery. So when you see these shirts, guys, look at the labels. I think I do have a picture of the label here. But Johnny Was has several labels. This is just one of them. This one I think is the 3J Workshop or something, and again, that sold for $31.99 shipped, but I only paid a couple of dollars for it. That usually is my price point on clothing. I do not pay over $3 unless it's, you know, a really high-end designer that I think I can get a little bit more for, but that's my average price point, $3. Here's something that I listed from the listed or digit show that I was on with Popular Picker, and she looked it up for me and said it was selling for about $20, and I got $19.99 for it, shipped. And again, I think I only paid $1 for that one. T-shirts are pretty cheap over at the Goodwill. Here's a pair of Clark shoes. Those sold for $27.99, shipped as well, and they were in fairly good condition. I did not clean them up. I don't really like to buy shoes that need too much attention. I don't know how much they're going to go for, so I don't like to put too much effort into getting them, you know, camera ready. So, but I do take pictures of all of the important areas, the heels and so forth. I didn't give you all the pictures there, so I wouldn't bore you with it, but here's one that I hauled, a little bag that I hauled for you. It's the rainbow, the sack, and that one sold for $25.60 shipped. I believe that had also been on a sale, but I picked that up for $1 or $2. I really get good deals on the handbags, and I thought that was a pretty good, I think it was even a best offer if I'm not mistaken, but definitely went on sale. And then here is a pair of vintage Mexican sterling silver malachite clip-on earrings. Now, I had those for a while. I did let those go for $20. They'd been on Etsy. They'd been everywhere, and they'd been up and down in price, so they finally did sell. They were very, very pretty. They're only about the size of a, I don't know, maybe a little smaller than a dime. They weren't very big at all, but very nice, and people do like their clip-on earrings, and they especially like Mexican silver, And malachite is always popular as well. Here is a North Face shirt that I also picked up for about $1 or $2. This was a men's, but I did picture it on a female mannequin because I put it on Poshmark as well. I thought it was a super cute shirt. If it didn't sell, I was going to be really happy to wear it. But that was North Face, and it did have a little flaw. It had like a little tiny gray spot, almost like a little speck of nail polish or something on it. So again, that sold for $15.99 shipped, and I did picture that flaw. I think you can see it there, and then I did show a picture of it up close. I don't like for my buyers to be unpleasantly surprised, so I always picture any flaw. I disclose it in writing as well. Here's a really nice Burberry that I picked up. This is a Burberry London. This is a ladies shirt, beautiful lavender, and that sold for $23 shipped. That was also on a sale. And I saw that a lot of them were selling for about that price. There was a few higher dollar ones, but I thought it was a fair deal, so that's what I let it go at. It did have the classic plaid on the collar and on the cuff, and I noticed another unique thing about it was that it had a purple button. So all of the other buttons were pearl colored, but they had that one at the very bottom in purple. Thought that was interesting. And there's that classic Burberry plaid that you see everywhere, pretty prolific design there. So yeah, that was a really good sale, I thought, for a Burberry shirt. This is a vintage shirt that I picked up again for $1 or $2. Had some fur on the collar. It was a sheer shirt. I got a lot of likes and shares on that on Poshmark, but it finally sold here for $13.50. Oh, that Burberry actually sold for $29.49. Sorry about that. That was a little shipping on that. So yeah, $29.49 for that Burberry shipped. But this one here sold for $13.50. That was also an additional shipping on that one. So, and that was made in the USA, so that was a really nice one. Here is a goth Lolita baby doll dress. This is from Hot Topic. This is a Hot Topic brand, but I picked it up for about $4, and I let it go pretty cheap because it had been in the closet for a while in the eBay store and in the closet. So that went for $15, 15 even shipped on that. So that was a good deal. Again, there was a few more items that sold in my store, but I didn't picture them all. I'm looking here at some barefoot original sandals that also sold. I guess I forgot to put it in there, but this video ran pretty long anyway, so I didn't want to go too long. And I hope I didn't repeat anything. I don't think I did, but here's a really pretty red stone ring. I think I only put red stone because I didn't know if it was carnelian or what. But that sold for $19.99 shipped. That was $12.99 plus shipping. So yeah, that was $19.99 shipped on that, and I had actually bought that on eBay years ago. Wore it, enjoyed it, and then sold it. I'm always hunting for jewelry on eBay. I just purchased, I think I bid on something recently. I can't stop. All right, here is a Betsy Johnson. This is an Intimates little camisole, and that sold for $17.99 shipped. And I believe I did have that on sale as well. I think originally I had that for about $25, $30. But I had that as well on Poshmark. I got some offers on Poshmark, but they were a little bit too low, especially with that 20% factored in. So I went ahead and let it go here on eBay, again for $17.99 shipped. Really pretty animal print there. All right, here's a dress that I picked up. This is a vintage dress, and I always keyword this as modest because this is a modest dress, child, adolescent 12. And yeah, unfortunately, we have to use the word modest even for children because of the fashion trends that we see nowadays. A lot of people still want to dress their children, and rightly so, in a modest way. So that's all for $15 shipped. That was also made in the USA, so that's definitely... Yeah, so that was made in the USA, so that indicates vintage to me as well. Here's something I picked up for $1. This is a vintage Ralph Lauren blazer. Stunning, absolutely stunning in every way, but it was definitely a vintage piece. So there was some flaws. There was a discolored lining, and there was a couple of sort of, I don't know, I guess little holes, like 2 that I pictured. I didn't show it all here in my pictures because, as I said, I didn't want to bore you with too many pictures, but there's one there, and the lining was definitely faded. So that actually sold for $29 shipped, but for $1, that was a good flip, and it didn't cost me. I think I put that into an envelope. That squeezed into an envelope, indeed. And Lauren, Ralph Lauren, always a good draw, especially in their classic vintage pieces. They're just always, always desired. This is Crystal Lee. This is a Crystal Lee blouse. I sold that for $15 shipped. This was a highly embellished piece. I'd never heard of the brand, but I just saw that embroidery, and I know that embroidery is pretty hot right now. Everybody really likes it. This was very loud, very very bold, so I thought there would be a market for it, and indeed that did sell for $15. I picked that up for, again, about $1 or $2, maybe even $3, because this was from the Goodwill, and like I said, I do like to keep my price point right at about $3, which is what winds up the average price for me anyway, because I do get that discount, and I always go for those color tags that are on sale. Again, here, this is something I picked up for about $2, $3, and that sold for $30 shipped. This is a beautiful Lula Kate dress. This is raw silk. I thought this would sell a year ago. I put this up on Posh. I put it in a lot of different places. It had a lot of likes on Posh, but I kept getting a lowball offer that wouldn't really, cover a good profit for me. So I took $30 on it, and I did pay the shipping on that. Really pretty with the high collar and the low back. So I thought it was, and then that beautiful color, kind of a tobacco color. It's just gorgeous. Okay, and then here's the buttons in the back as well. This is what went around the neck. It was just beautiful. And there's that label for you to read. Again, that is Lula Kate. Okay, we're into some international shipping here. This is Church's men's brown wingtip brogue shoes. These were an 80F, and I numbered it just like that. I stated it just like that, 80F. I didn't want any confusion with the European sizes. I figured whoever knows these shoes will know what they're buying. Indeed, someone in Japan bought them and was very happy with them. Those sold for $90. I picked those up at the Goodwill for about $10 because I believe they were marked $14, and with my discount, that's what I paid. So I thought that was a fabulous deal for going just to Kentucky and then all the way to Japan. I know they paid a good penny for them to get shipped to them, and I did take a best offer on that. I think I had them for $125 or something like that, but I thought that was a pretty good return, so I took that, especially for the wear on those soles. They were pretty worn there at the bottom. I stated that as well, that they would probably need to be resold. So yeah, $90 for Church's. So be sure and look for that brand. Just look at the detail on that shoe, though. These are hand stitched, and I believe these shoes sell for... Okay, yeah, the Church's shoes retail for over $1,000. So the person in Japan that bought them was very, very happy to get those shoes. Okay, here's a pair of Renoir copper earrings. Now, these are a very popular brand. You'll see that marking quite a bit. I'm sorry it's upside down, but it's Renoir, just like the artist. And so take a look at that because they're very popular. Those sold for $24.99 shipped. And then here are some Weiss earrings. These sold for $32, and I actually sold another pair. I'll bring you when I do my Etsy sales. I sold another pair on Etsy, identical in pink, to the same customer, one of my wonderful subscribers. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your support of my stores. So yeah, these were absolutely gorgeous. Weiss rhinestone. I bought these at the Goodwill. Here is a jacket that... I picked up for $1. It sold for $44. I picked it up for $1 at a garage sale. I kind of bundled everything up, and they gave me a really good deal on this one. I didn't even realize that this Ralph Lauren Sports vintage puffer jacket, blue and green reversible. Didn't even realize it was reversible till I was looking for the size to get it listed. So, and that also sold international, and that was actually $53.85 shipping. So that was a wonderful flip there for a vintage Ralph Lauren Polo Sports. Again, that's the 90s brand that people are still looking for. That's a brand that's waned, but back and forth, but it's back on now, guys. All right, here are some really cute polka dot shoes. I build them as pinup shoes, polka dot white strappy sandals, and those sold for $15 shipped, and I put those in an envelope. They fit perfectly. A lot of these shoes will fit in those flat rate envelopes, and I get them in a plastic bag first. I put tissue. I get them really secure. I even sometimes put little cardboard around the heels to get those secured. So I try to you know, save money in the shipping when I can, but I don't want the item ruined for the buyer. I'm not going to risk that. So I do secure that. Excuse me. And of course, I pictured the heels. These were a little scuffed, so I did have a close-up picture of that as well. Here's a vintage Anne Klein. These were like, I called it brooches, military style pins, because they were both individual. They didn't really have clips, so I didn't really think they were a sweater clip. And those sold for $14.97. And again, I had that probably on Etsy for probably 3 years, and it finally sold here on eBay. And then I love that lion head logo, guys. That is just a logo that never, ever goes out of popularity. People really look for it. I love it myself. I'm a Leo, and I just love the motif. I love lions, and I love anything with that design on it. So Anne Klein, vintage Anne Klein, always comes through with that beautiful logo. All right, here is a pair of Harlem Globetrotter track pants. And these are by Fubu. This actually sold international as well. So that sold for $19.99 shipped. I think it was going somewhere in the UK, if I'm not mistaken. So, and I don't even remember. I think I got these at a charity shop for probably $1.50. Okay, and here is an item that sold for $24.99 shipped. This is a bib necklace, fashion statement bib necklace. Those beads were actually plastic, but they were faceted, and it was a very, very nice piece. It really was well made. I thought very nicely made, very sturdy and heavy, and that sold again for $24.99, but I paid only $10 for that jewelry jar. So, and it was a tiny jewelry jar. It was like those really small fishbowl style. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but it's really tiny, and I usually get those for $14.99, $10 with my discount. So I'm estimating that this item did not cost me more than a dime, maybe even less, because there was quite a few things in there, and I do have a video on that when it popped out. My husband dumpster dived once and found this duffel bag full of creative memories and all kinds of scrapbooking stuff. This one sold for $19.99. They were 3 pieces. 3 large pieces, actually. They were quite big and quite heavy. So I had to stuff those into a padded flat rate, because that again sold for $19.99 shipped. But they fit, and they were fine. And then here's a puffy heart, sterling silver. It didn't have a maker's mark. It's got quite a bit of intricate cut work and diamond cut work on it. So that sold for $13.97. It actually just sold today. And it was only about maybe barely an inch big, but it is a puffy heart, really cute. But again, it was missing the bail. Okay, here's a shirt that sold for, I believe, $10.97 shipped on that. Yeah, that was $10.97 shipped, I believe. And the t-shirts, again, they only sell for about $1.99 with my discount. I think I wind up getting them for $1.50 at the Goodwill. And this one may have even been from a garage sale, which might have even been cheaper than that. So that wasn't too bad, and it didn't cost much to ship that as well. Here is a snapback that sold for $13.39, and that was $13.39 shipped. But I did put that in I believe I put it in just a poly mailer, but it didn't cost me very much. I think it was a little over $3 to ship that. And I probably picked that up for $1.25 or so. I try to keep the snapbacks also at a very low rate, because I never know whether I'm going to have to clearance them out or not. Okay, here is a little trivet that I picked up, I believe, for about 50 cents. And that sold for 10. And that sold about 2 weeks ago. So they got it just in time for St. Patty's Day. That was pretty nice. All right, here's a really pretty vintage Napier. I let that go for $13.39. That was on a sale. And it was really cute. The toggle is actually a arrow that goes through the heart there. Very well made, very heavy piece, really nice, but it had been sitting for a while. These are some really pretty clown mugs. I sold both of them for $19.99, but I picked them up for 50 cents at a flea market, and they were really cute. It's got the little nose in the front that actually protrudes, so it's got a little 3D effect. Super, super cute. I was very excited to find those. Those are by Action. So that is a brand that I see often. Made in Japan is what it says as well. And yeah, I sold those as a set for $19.99 shipped. And then here's something that also went out to the UK. Interestingly, I think I had this for $19.99. I did not put it on sale, but I lowered the price manually to $17.99. As soon as I did that, they sold. And they sold internationally as well. I don't remember if it went to the UK or where. But it went to Kentucky, as far as I know, to a nice new home abroad. And that is the Veggie Tales. That's a little Bible cover. Here is a pair of sneakers that my husband also found in that dumpster dive. So those were free. And those were Adidas. They sold for $19.99. I squeezed those into a padded flat rate as well. So that was pretty good for being free. They did have a little tiny flaw. I think they had a little bit of chip paint. There it goes, right there on the heel. So of course we pictured that. Other than that, they were in pretty good condition. The heels were not very worn. They weren't very sullied or anything. So I thought that was a pretty good deal. All right, here was a good buy. I bought this for $70 on Etsy. This is a retired James Avery Kneeling Angel. The retired pieces on James Avery are money in the bank. But I wanted this for my own collection. I had a bracelet, lost that charm, wanted to replace it. But it turned out that this was another version of that same charm. Sometimes James Avery does that. They do 2 or 3 versions of a certain piece. Even in bracelets, they do different things, depending on what year or whatnot. So this was a lot bigger than I anticipated. It was actually about 1 inch big. So it would have overpowered not only the look, but the weight of my bracelet. So I decided to go ahead and put it up on eBay, and that sold for $149. And that was the full asking price. I did not take a best offer or anything. I just kind of threw it up there. I saw other pieces selling for that amount, other retired pieces, not that particular one. So that's what I did. I sold it for that amount. And then here is a brooch. This is a gold-filled, and that is a genuine pearl. Little turtle there, and that sold for, I believe, $19.99, if I'm not mistaken. Really pretty, though. I've had this forever. I can't even remember when I bought it. I've had it that long. Here's another brooch that sold for $16, free shipping, and this is a vintage locket. Really pretty, and I think I've told you before that I love to take pictures of the item when I can put it on a blazer or a jacket so people can kind of see the scale of it. So that was really pretty. Lots of filigree work on that gold tone brooch as well. So yeah, I hope I got that price right. Sometimes these prices are a little confusing for me because I'm looking at my solds here, and but anyway, okay. And here's a pair, actually 4. These were vintage soup cups, and those sold for $43 shipped. So I definitely found an economical way to ship those. And I don't even remember, did I put those in a flat rate? I may have, and they arrived safely. So that was pretty good. No, I think I put these in a box. Yeah, I did. So I wound up still making about $20 because I didn't pay but like 50 cents on those. I really still wound up with a nice profit on those. Okay, here is a Gucci Weekender bag. It's a pretty big little suitcase. And I picked that up on Posh a few years ago. I really enjoyed it. I think I paid $200 for it, and I sold that for $349. And I really loved it. It was a genuine Gucci. It is a genuine Gucci. Really pretty, nice and clean. Very, very nice, but I don't travel that much, and I still kind of need something with a strap because that just carrying things, right there, especially with the way I stuff my suitcases. So I decided to let it go, and I still made a profit, enjoyed it for about 3 years, actually. So yeah, that was a really good sale on that Gucci, genuine Gucci. Okay, guys, that is the end of my sales video here on eBay. I hope you come back for a Poshmark sales update and Etsy. And I'm still working on that Amazon. And I hope that you like the video. And don't forget to subscribe as well. Hit the bell so you can be notified for new videos. Bye.